Welcome to the Beautiful Game Plan podcast, produced by Focus Shift Films and sponsored by Welsh sports fans. I'm your host, Daniel J. Harris. I'm a filmmaker and entrepreneur working across sport, and I'm a huge fan of sports content. This podcast is my chance to meet amazing people who are doing amazing things in the sports content space and to share their stories with you in the hope that it inspires ideas. On this special episode of the Beautiful Game Plan podcast, we have the amazing Leigh Hussain, the CEO of Inspired Business Media. And those watching on video can see we're here together in person. It's the first time I've done it in person. Usually it's done online, but we're here in person to have a little chat. And we're going to go a little bit off piece today, but there's plenty of sport in there as well. So Leigh, welcome to the Beautiful Game Plan podcast. Thank you very much for hosting us at this amazing venue here, Inspired HQ in Kings Hill House in Newport. This is a fantastic room. So just chat to us a little bit about yourself and about Inspired Business Media and give the audience at home a little insight of who you are and what you do.
So I'm Leigh Hussain. I'm the CEO and founder of Inspired Business Media. Yes, you're right. We are in beautiful Kings Hill House. Wasn't always beautiful. You know, obviously, about the story and one that we can talk about again. Inspired Business Media, we arrange business-to-business events internationally. We're in all of Europe, North America, now branching into the Middle East, not quite global yet, but watch this space. In addition to that, myself personally, as you know, I'm involved in several other businesses that benefit from the networks that we work with at Inspired Business Media.
Fantastic. And you're a keen rugby fan, former rugby player down at Pill Harriers RFC.
Yeah.
And now you're working with the club as well in order to help them kind of realise their potential.
Yeah, so Pill Harriers Rugby Clubs is just a stone throw away from our office. I can actually see it through the window right now, the viewers can't see. Played there from the age of 12 and learned so much, made friends for life. The team that I played with at youth level, I'm still friends with every single one of them to this day. Something that's extremely important. And now I'm at a stage in my life and I've got a little bit more time where I can now start giving back and supporting that club that helped, bring me up.
Fantastic, and it's becoming more and more difficult for grassroots clubs to survive, and there's a lot of challenges for rugby clubs, especially in Wales at the moment, at all levels. Yeah. So tell us about how important it is to make sure that these grassroots clubs survive and are a key part of their community.
It's not just important from a health, well-being standpoint, but from a leadership standpoint. Myself, I can only speak from experience. Growing up, I always thought, probably a bit naive now looking back, that I'm going to be a rugby player. Luckily I stuck to a bit of my education as well because of my parents. I stopped growing at about the age of 15 height wise, so I was always really tall. My nickname was Lomu, believe it or not, growing up. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that. I've known you since we were about 16. I didn't know that.
Yeah, the odd person still calls me Lomu, which is hilarious. And I was lucky enough to meet him before he passed. So stopped growing, had 5 knee reconstructions, and luckily I'd made some great friends and I stuck to my education and was able then to get back on the road of employment, and then lucky enough with hard work and taking chances, setting up my own business.
Fantastic. And 5 knee reconstructions.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I've had 6 ops. I've had 3 reconstructions on one and 2 on the other, all ACL.
Is that kind of 6 different times, or were they just both completely knackered at one point?
I kept coming back too soon. Didn't rehab properly. I'm always one that's a bit impulsive and just goes at it, and that's why I got in that position. But again, I'm not the tallest of people. There's a lot more to it than you need an element of luck, I think, to become a professional rugby player, as well as obviously skill, hard graft, resilience. There's so much more to it than just talent.
And you had your formative years down at Pill Harriers RFC. Yeah. You absolutely loved rugby. Yeah. Tell us about some of those skills that you developed playing rugby, being part of a team, being part of that community, and how you've brought that into your business. Yeah,
so the one thing, and you hear this in business all the time, is failure. So in sport, you can't win every game. You see it in Premiership football, you see it in all sports, especially team sports more so. You've got to bounce back week in, week out, and that's just not in playing, it's about in team selection as well. So that attribute is key in business and employment in life, and that's why I'm getting my kids into sports now, so they can start learning you can't win everything. Get your tantrums out the way early, and then obviously as you develop in later life, you take the losses as a win, if that makes sense, because you're like, right, what can I learn from it? You probably heard that cliche saying you learn a lot more from failure, and I don't know how many shots Jordan had
Yes, there's a famous Nike advert, isn't it, where Jordan recounts all the times he missed.
Exactly. So there's that communication in a team you don't get as much, obviously, from a solo sport. You may have your coach on the side, but communicating with one another, you can bring that into the workplace is absolutely massive.
Exactly, yeah. I'm the same. I learned so much from playing football when I was younger.
Yeah.
And you build friendships, friendships for life, like you said. You learn those skills about resilience, about hard work, about teamwork, and they're life skills that you learn from sport that you can take into any walk of life, really, can't you?
Totally. And a sports team, like, again, Pill Harriers, you do have people from all different walks of life, different backgrounds, different religions, different colours. So, again, very, very useful when you go into the workplace.
Fantastic. And tell us a bit more about Pill Harriers RFC then. So what sort of club is it? What sort of area is it? And then what are you doing to help them and support them?
So Pill Harriers Rugby Club is in one of the most deprived areas in Gwent, not just Newport. It's the highest crime rate in Gwent, but also a huge talent pool. The people that have come out there, Welsh rugby players, football players, international musicians, it goes on. It's crazy, the pool of talent. I think it's because of humble beginnings, people being hungry to better themselves. So yeah, me being involved now is trying to help partnerships, awareness, funding as well from businesses in the area to give back, because again, that's going to help children have a better life, learn skills, and get these fundamental skills, like I say, when growing up through team sports.
And it's a massively diverse area as well, isn't it? It sits alongside the old docks of Newport, so it was the kind of entry point for a lot of people into not just Newport but Wales and maybe even the UK back in the old trading days. So it's a really diverse area.
Yeah.
So I think you got lots of people with lots of different life experiences, lots of different views of the world, and it's a real kind of melting pot of that. Then there's a certain cohesion between those people and their different points of view and their different view of the world, but they've all come together in terms of wanting to better their life, wanting to create new opportunities. And I think that's a key part of the Pill community, and it sounds like that's a key part of what you're doing at Pill Harriers RFC. You're looking at the opportunity that sport can give to people in the area, and you mentioned some of the people that come out of Pill, and especially Pill Harriers. Rio Dyer playing for Wales at the moment.
Amazing, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. He was there in the junior setup. Ashton Hewitt was in the junior setup as well. There's a number of people that aren't maybe in the limelight right now because of age that have gone on to do professional rugby and done really well. But in addition to that, like I said, business, myself, everyone who's in the youth team right now is doing very well for themselves career-wise. That's because of, like I said, fundamental skills that they learn and their peer group. It's about that group of people that you grow up with that's absolutely key as well. Absolutely,
and we've got a shared passion for sport and supporting sports clubs. I'm a sponsor of a number of the different football clubs and rugby clubs in the area. How important is it that local businesses like ours are supporting these clubs, sponsoring them, providing opportunities for them to provide opportunities to others?
It's very important, but it's not as easy at times. You get asked all the time, I get asked all the time, and it's about us being selective on what is firstly close to your heart, and that's obviously why I'm involved in Pill. What can help your business is a real truth as well. What if you're a smaller business, you're starting out, you might not have a huge turnover. Maybe £500 or £1,000 is the difference between you making profit or not. So you investing in a club is not always easy as you'd like. I maybe want my logo on everything, but if there's no money in return, you can't keep justifying it to your finance director. So it's about the community getting behind your business as well. I think that's absolutely key. Down Pill Harriers, we've got sponsors that are carpenters, plumbers, roofers, and we've got over 800 members down Pill Harriers. So I'd like to think if the opportunity arises, they'll allow those trades to quote at least. It doesn't mean necessarily they get the business, but it's about us all supporting one another.
Exactly, and that's it. A lot of the sponsors are grown up in the area, are based in the area, or their family members are playing for the clubs as well.
Exactly.
But it can't just be about give us your money, we'll put a logo up there and you get no value, can it? There has to be value.
Yeah.
And talk about some of the things you're looking to do to add value to the sponsors down at Pill Harriers.
Yeah, so down Pill, we're looking to do 4 quarterly events that are going to bring the community together, and from that as well, the businesses that are supporting the club are invited and welcomed down to that. To network with one another because there's business opportunities amongst business people, but also to really get behind the club and the great work it's doing and see the impact firsthand of the club growing and the good it's doing. Myself, something that I probably should have started with is when I first went down Pill Harriers. At that point, I was being a bit of a naughty boy in high school. I was in different high school, and probably fighting or ego. I don't know what it was, but it very easily could have gone down a different path. And I genuinely believe that had I not got involved in rugby at an early age, you know, I'd be a very different person today.
Fantastic, yeah, it's an amazing story, and one you hear quite often about people that were kind of maybe a little lost in life, were trying to find their feet in the world, and then they find sport and they find who they are, they find their values, they're taught values by those around them, they see the value in team play and leadership and all that sort of stuff, and it sets them on the right path. And it sounds like kind of Pill Harriers and rugby was that kind of...
It's that, and school and club rugby was key. If you weren't being a good boy, performing in certain areas, like in schools, obviously, you know, if you're not being a good boy in class, not doing well in terms of like respect and grades, you weren't picked for the team. It was a privilege to play for the team, so it's a privilege you need to earn. So that makes you think, right, I better be a good boy.
That's it. Then it is a privilege, really, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? And allowing those children to see it as a privilege, and then I suppose when they get that opportunity, it feels so much more to them then as well as them learning all those other kind of social skills around that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've not even mentioned the things like sports taking me all around the world, and I've not played professional rugby. When you're professional, you know, you get so much more than that, and you get a living from it as well. So yeah, even just playing, you know, regional rugby at youth level, and then Pill Harriers seniors, you know, yeah, we travelled, we've done tours to the States, stayed with French families, with Newport youth, things like that. So amazing opportunities as well that, you know, help you grow character that you could take into work.
Exactly, it broadens your horizons. Yeah. Do you mean not just kind of the people around you and the world around you, but the wider world as well? So yeah, it sounds like you've got a lot of value out of sport over the years.
I have, and that's why I want to promote it, and that's why I want to give back, and that's also why I've taken a lot of the skills that I've learned from sports into work. Yeah.
Fantastic, and yeah, you've convinced me to get involved with Pill Harriers as well. So I'm working on a promotional video, and I'm one of the sponsors. You make a compelling story, and you've got a fantastic network of business people in Newport and the wider area, and you're able to pull them in and use your profile to bring them into the club and provide some value to the club, and then also value back to those as sponsors.
It's mutually beneficial, and you know, the business people I'm involved with, I don't just like them, I recommend them because they're really good at what they do, because I keep my company, like I said, as growing up, you know, at a level that I respect. And you're part of that, so...
Well, yeah, I was going to say that's a fantastic segue. I'm not sure whether that was intentional or not, but...
Of course it was.
Yeah, part of why Leigh's come onto the podcast today is because we've got a partnership now between Inspired Business Media and Focus Your Films. Leigh has seen the value in what we're doing at Focus Your Films, how we use sport to tell stories, how the skills that we've learned in storytelling in sport can be used for storytelling in all different formats and can be used for businesses of all shapes and sizes to help them engage with audiences. And Inspired Business Media is investing in Focus Your Films, and we're looking to do great things together moving forward. So tell us a little bit about the value that you saw in, I suppose, me and the company, and how that works with what you're doing. Well,
first and foremost, and you probably go red, is the investment is in you, because you can have a great company if you don't have a great leader behind it. You know, it's not going to get the best start from the get-go. So hearing your vision, where you want to take it, you've got big plans, which I find exciting and I love and I admire. And it's a no-brainer for us to collaborate with you, because first and foremost, we spend a lot of money on filming at our events. We do storytelling with business executives from all over the world. And I know with your skills, we can just get that better and better, and that's already happening. So yeah, kudos to you. And then in addition to that, our marketing events, business opportunities, there's a number of people that you've already met, you know, the biggest companies in the world I can get you in front of to talk about filming, you know, within their organizations as well. So yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Absolutely, and I thoroughly enjoy coming along to your events and kind of capturing them and hearing what the people that come to the events have got to say about it. They all see the value in the sort of events that you create, and there's a great ethos in that, in the people that you work with and also your team. So coming and being a part of that and helping you guys tell stories and helping the other people there to tell their stories has been absolutely fantastic. And yeah, it's what I'm all about, is telling amazing stories and engaging with audiences. And I can see the value of doing that with you. You can see the value of that, doing that with me, and hopefully it's going to be a long, fruitful partnership for the two of us.
It's going to be, yeah. And thank you. Yeah, the events are never good enough from my perspective. I think you've asked me last event, what do you think of the event? Not good enough. And it's not that not enough or that imposter syndrome, but it's because I just can always see that we can do this better, that better. And there's so much area for growth that I find exciting.
That's it. You're not resting on your laurels. You're going, okay, we've done that really well. How can we get to there? How can we get to there? How can we grow? How can we better? How can we reach more people? How can we do events that are adding more and more value? And that's the one thing that really strikes me about yourself as a businessman. You're all about value. How can I provide value to other people? It's not just about how can I make loads of money or how can I do this. It's how can I help others. How can I provide value to them?
Yeah.
How can we provide value to each other and build an ecosystem and partnerships and collaborations where everybody wins? Do you know what I mean? It's the saying that a high tide lifts all ships, and if we work together and collaborate and create opportunities for each other, then we can all get to that place where we want to be, and we can do amazing things together.
Totally, yeah. An advocate of that. I'm always looking to give, believe in karma. When selling, my guys always live off the saying, have you heard of Whiffam? What's in it for me?
Yes.
So when they're selling, they're always trying to use their words in a way to think, what's in it for the person I'm speaking to? But with myself, and it's proved tenfold every single time, give. Some people think, what's the crazy person? What's his agenda? There's no agenda. Give back, and it just comes back to you anyway. And if it doesn't, so what? You've put some good into the world. Absolutely.
And there's an advisor of mine in the film world, Sam Hawley, who's got a phrase which I use for, like, what's the secret of storytelling? It's who are your audience, what do they want, and how can you give it to them in a way that surprises them? And I think it's the same for business. Who are your customers? What do they want? And how can you give that to them in a way that surprises them, engages them, and provides value to them? And it sounds like that's an ethos within Inspired Business Media as well as yourself.
Yeah, we're always looking to exceed expectations. And we're always looking to improve the customer experience and journey from all sides, from our client side, our sponsor side, from Inspired Business Media. We're a middleman.
Yeah.
So we're connecting businesses that want to sell and businesses that want to buy. So we're constantly working at improving both of those experiences. Yeah.
Fantastic, and thank you very much from myself for having a little bit of faith in me and my business. I'm hoping to repay you in spades down the line. So fingers crossed that we can deliver everything we wanted together. We will. But to kind of segue back into sport a little bit, and obviously with Focus Your Films we created a lot of sports content. I'm a massive sports fan. Tell me what are the sports bits of sports content that you've seen over the years that have impressed you, excited you, engaged you?
Good question. So as I said, growing up, nickname was Lomu, and I know any of my friends that are watching this probably laughing because obviously I stopped growing. So growing up, I was bigger than everyone on the pitch. But because of that, New Zealand rugby tops, Lomu on the back, and really embraced it and started watching the All Blacks and loved the haka. Down Pill Harriers we used to have, and it's silly looking back, you'd laugh, there's some pictures around it. We used to do the Pill haka. Do you know about this?
No.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So there's probably a video somewhere about it, not on YouTube, thank God. But the haka, I think it symbolises sport, obviously, but it also embodies culture as well. So that for me, I think is a key moment. No iconic goals, Ronaldo overhead kicks, nothing like that. But that, I think, it embodies a lot.
Absolutely, the All Blacks ethos is phenomenal.
Yeah.
There's a book, I can't remember what the book's called.
I know the book you're on about.
Yeah, there's a phenomenal book, and it talks about everyone has to sweep the changing room and stuff like that.
Leave a place at least better than the way it came in. Yeah.
Exactly, and that's the ethos for the shirt, isn't it? If I'm the number 9, I need to leave that number 9 shirt in a better place than when I took up the number 9 shirt. Yeah. And sweeping the sheds and stuff like that, their ethos around teamwork, leadership, all being in it together is absolutely phenomenal. And that book is well worth a read. I wish I could remember the title of it.
You have to put it in the notes after this because I've read that book, audio book, listened to it, and it was great. Yeah.
It absolutely symbolises everything we've talked about what you can learn in sport that you can take into your everyday life. Yeah. There's so many life lessons in there that a leader at any level in any industry can take value from and can implement in their own business.
Do you know what? This is one of the reasons as well I do love hiring sports people. And I don't just hire sports people. All right, and army people as well, is that you can have very honest conversations with them because they've been there and done that. So if someone leaves a cup on their desk or leaves something a mess, I go, I'm not going to name drop now because some of the staff and they'll watch this, but hey, do that, or the kitchen's a mess, come on, this isn't on. Instead of worrying about hurting people's feelings and stuff like that, I think sometimes in this day and age, we do overthink that. I know if I have a sports person, on the team, they can take it. And they can give it back as well. If I'm not, they can hold me to account.
There's a certain element of resilience in there, and I know there's kind of changing room banter, and you can't take that too far for obvious reasons. But there's a certain element of call it as you see it. Do you know what I mean? You didn't play well today, or kind of
respectfully.
You didn't run back. Yeah, exactly.
For the greater good of the team.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. There's honest conversations you can have that they don't take personally. It's this is kind of business. Your job is as right back of the team. You didn't track back on that. You didn't get in there and attack that tackle, whatever that is. There's a certain resilience in terms of the mindset of an athlete, which, like you say, I think is similar to the military sort of mindset.
So you were at the fundraiser with me for Christian Smith, sports person, friend, someone who worked for us at Inspired Business Media. Tragically passed away in last year, 2024, sudden heart attack, and he joined us after doing two tours in Afghan. I think he did 7 years service in the army with Dwyer, and we trained him up. And people have phone fear, cold calling in front of a sales floor of people that have been there and done that. And I went over to him, and he's 6'7", massive, all right? And I went over to him and I went, Chris, it's all right, mate, if you're a bit under pressure, everyone is. And he was like, mate, I've had people shoot at me. This is not pressure, don't worry about it. He said, I'll call all 100 of them right now. And he did it. And I was like, yeah, I forget. Things, other experiences in life, you bring into the workplace, and they build you up so much to think, yeah, this is nothing. But additionally, one time, same gentleman, Christian Smith, I told off I sound like a tyrant, right? I told off the sales floor for not hitting the KPIs or whatever this week because I got to push them. I'm the leader. And I went out of the room and I had a little earwig thinking, how are they going to react now? Are they going to play victim mentality, or are they going to start cussing me out? I don't know how they're going to react. And Smudge Christian, who's the trainee at the time, 6'7" trainee, turned around to everyone, leader within it, and said, guys, he's absolutely right. We're not working hard enough. We can all do better. And you all know it. And they're like, oh, well, really, he needs to do it. And he just shut him down. So the point is, from him being brought up in a sports environment, army environment, you've got leaders, he's got leader skills, and having them on your team in work is so crucial for a successful business.
Absolutely, and I've read all the books from the SAS Who Dares Wins kind of guys, and that kind of military mentality of you take the ego out of it. It's not personal. Us as a team, we haven't worked hard enough. Us as a team, we haven't hit our target, and it's the same in sport. Us as a team, we lost. We didn't track back. We didn't work as a unit. And you've got that resilience and able to take that criticism and that feedback and think, okay, I'm going to do better next time. I'm going to go up a notch. I'm going to take it to the next level, and I'm going to deliver. And if you've got a team of people like that around you, then you can achieve anything.
Yeah, but also when you're bringing people in that don't have that sports experience or background, when they have those, call it pillars of the business around them, it brings their level up as well.
Absolutely, that mindset, that ethos rubs off on others, because if you've got 10 people in a team and 6 of them are going, he's right, let's dig in, we can do this, then the 4 might go, oh, okay, yeah, fair enough. This is the way it is. This is the way it's going. I can work a little harder. I can do, this is it. This is the standard. This is where we need to be. We've fallen short. Let's not take it personally. We can all do things a little bit better, and we go to that next level as a unit. Fantastic. Well, Leigh, thank you very much for chatting to me. Thank you very much for coming on the podcast. Thank you very much to those at home that are watching and seeing us here in person. Thanks to those that are listening. Leigh, where can people at home find out a little bit more about Inspired Business Media?
The website, simple as that, inspiredbusinessmedia.com. You'll then have our social links, Instagram, LinkedIn. Feel free to reach out if you think we can help you with any of your lead generation or learning. If you're looking for educational purposes to come to any of our conferences, if they fall into your industry, then please register interest.
Fantastic. And of course, if anyone needs any video production out there, then give us a shout at Focus Your Films as well. You can find out all about us on the new website, which is out there with all our projects on there. Our new show reel for 2025. We've got lots of exciting things in the pipeline, lots of exciting opportunities with Inspired Business Media as well. And 2025 is going to be a fantastic year for both of us and both of our companies, I hope.
Definitely.
Fantastic. Thanks those at home for watching and listening. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast so you can get all the new episodes. Like and share it as well. Drop a comment, share it with your friends. The more people that listen, the better. Thank you very much. Don't forget to like and share this episode and subscribe to the channel for more content.